Howdy crew, we got some updates on the upcoming structural steel job. Let's get to it. Howdy crew, I'm William Morris, President and CEO of the Welding Cowboy Corporation, certified licensed welder and owner-operator of a welding rig based out of Los Angeles, California. On here I'll be going over welding knowledge, what it's like to own and operate a welding rig, welding blueprints, welding math, welding equipment, and so much more. Welcome to the channel. I'm William Morris, the Welding Cowboy. So I met with the subcontractor and going over the blueprints on this upcoming structural steel job. And so I'll be doing some connecting of beams, going to be doing some welding on beams, going to be going over stuff, overwatching stuff in the shop, step in if I have to, being the only structurally certified licensed welder on this project. So not sure how that's going to work out just yet, but for sure I'll be doing all the stuff in the field with the rig. I may be doing some welding in the shop without the rig, but I may also bring the rig in case it is needed. But going over the blueprints. Blueprints are pretty messed up. I mean, I don't know who created them, why they created it this way. First and foremost, just the layout of the actual project. I believe it could be done better by the engineer, but I'm not an engineer, so if something has to be done a certain way, I wouldn't know about it. Just in my opinion, it could have been done differently. But then the way the blueprints are laid out, I don't care for it. It looks a little bit on the sloppy end. But again, personal opinion, I like nice clean blueprints where everything is laid out nice and neat, it's organized, everything is on there that's supposed to be on there. So the fabricator, that is the subcontractor, and myself, were going over these blueprints, and he said, how do these look to you? They look great. And I went over and it's like, no, this detail doesn't look right. This whole blueprint doesn't look right. And I was telling him, unless something's really wrong with me, most of the stuff doesn't look right. It just does not compute. It doesn't make sense to me. And he said, well, tell me what you're thinking. Like, why does this not make sense? And I said, well, this right here, it's pointing to something, but it's not there. This other weld, you can't do it. It's impossible. There's no such thing as doing this weld on what is pictured here. It doesn't exist. And so it was just a few of those things, and then explaining why it is that way. And the subcontractor was very happy. He actually finally turned to me and said, this is why I hired you. And this is why I emphasize blueprints, and why we'll be going over more blueprints in the future on the channel. Blueprints are extremely important. It's not just, oh, you can see what's on the blueprint and then do it, but also recognize if something is wrong. It can be done, but also if it's not right or it shouldn't be done that way, you have to know why it is or isn't correct, how it should or shouldn't be done, and whether it is possible or legal to do it a certain way. So that is why I emphasize on a lot of vlogs saying that folks should really know their blueprints, really know their welding math, because if that's screwed up, it don't matter how great of a welder a person is. If you can't do your welding math and your welding blueprints, I don't know what to tell you. So anyways, it was just a lot of time going over these blueprints, going over stuff on some really big computers, and going into each detail of all the stuff that has to be welded, and saying this doesn't make sense, it can be done, but leave that alone. So ask the engineer why. But this, and this, and there was quite a few questions. I had to write them out for the subcontractor so he could call the engineer. I'm gonna get that all straightened out, and I'll be printing out the blueprints that are the current blueprints. They may be updated, but at least the current blueprints, I know what I found that wasn't right and what I think could be changed without changing the structural integrity of the project. I have those printed out. I'll be going over those in a later vlog after this project is done, as to why things weren't making sense or why things could have been done differently and all that good stuff. So I just wanted to go through that. It's very important for any welder, even if it's not certified and licensed. If you're wanting to get further along in welding, blueprints are crucial. Learn your blueprints, learn your math, because that's very handy. It comes in all the time. Just know anything and everything that goes along those lines. If there's a certain type of section cut, if there's a certain type of detail or something that's mentioned and you don't know what it is, ask questions. I've found things before that's like, I haven't heard of that, I need to look that up, and I've done it. There's nothing wrong with admitting I don't know this and then going and learning about it. Even if you have to go over it several times to memorize it, there's nothing wrong with that. The entire welding trade, there's always going to be something new to learn. They're always going to come out with new products, new ways to do things, new types of blueprint stuff. There's going to be all kinds of new things. The only thing that's not going to change is how to do math, unless it's that Common Core crap. But regardless, there's always going to be things that are going to be changing, things that are going to be new, old ways are going to be phased out. So it's always a constant learning. You got to stay on top of the ball in that one. You got to keep up with a good game plan of learning what's this, what's that. Never heard of this. I should know what that is, and I'm going to go learn it. And nobody knows every single thing about welding. Not me, not nobody else. I don't care what welding instructor, what welding guru person. There's always going to be something that can be learned, something that can be dived into to learn more, whether it's in a certain field such as structural or pipe or this or that. So I just want to really go over that if you don't know something about blueprint, learn about it. If you don't know something about this type of welding math that this portrays to that, and certain equations for that, learn about it. Something about structural steel, learn about it. It's always learning. So that came in really handy, and I've had that before where I've gone over blueprints with contractors and subcontractors, and they've been extremely happy because I find stuff and it's like, hey, this just doesn't make sense. We'll take it back to the engineer or whoever created the blueprints, if it's from another contractor that has an engineer in there, and just work it out. Everything's good, move forward. It's not to harp on it like you screwed up or you screwed up. No, it's none of that. It's like, hey, we want money. How do we do this? Let's figure it all out and move forward. So I just want to kind of stress the blueprints again, and I will be going over these particular blueprints in a vlog. Once this project is done, I won't go for it beforehand. But I did print them all out. I actually have them in a little binder so that way I can have them on hand on job site, and they're in little page protectors. You can get them at any office supply store, so that way the pages are protected from oil, dirt, dust, anything and everything pretty much, except for sparks obviously. But I will have those in the rig, so if I need to reference it, I will have my binder with all the blueprints I need, with also printouts of specifications if need be. So that's what I like to do. I always like doing that project, so I have it on hand. I can have it on my phone, but I prefer to keep as much battery on my phone as possible in case I need it for an emergency or something later. And that's just how I am. I like to have printed blueprints. That way I can go through them. I can show someone if I need to ask something on it, or if I need to tell part of the crew, hey, we need to do this or that. It's always really handy to have physical printed blueprints. So just want to go over that. That's what's been going on. Been going through texting back and forth, calls back and forth with the subcontractor before and after meeting him. And it's all gone really well. I'm really happy that I did learn so much about blueprints when I was in welding school, and then before when I actually taught welding blueprints later, obviously after I was far out of welding school. So anyways, that's just really good. I thought it as a great compliment, not trying to sound self-righteous or anything, but when I get something like that, the subcontractor saying, this is why I hired you, I take pride in knowing that I did all the homework I did. Take pride in all the hours, just so many hours, because blueprints, when I first started them, sucked. I did not do well with them, but I spent countless hours, no sleep, days on end, just hammering that stuff in. And I always stress that if you don't know something, keep practicing it. If it doesn't make sense, keep practicing. I know for a lot of folks, the welding math is very hard, and there's nothing wrong with that. Just keep practicing it. It will get better. And if you keep practicing, just go over it over and over and over, and it will come to you eventually. Some folks, it's extremely fast. Some folks, it takes a really long time. But if you're devoted to it and you really want this career, you really want to be in the welding trades, it really does pay off. You stay up all night, you work on it, you do it day after day. That's what your day involves, is studying this stuff. It will pay off. I can guarantee that. I've seen so many folks that had a lot of trouble with math. I taught welding math as well, along with other welding classes, and 95% of the class did not know anything about times tables, anything like that. But once the class was done, the semester was done, most folks that put in all the time and effort, they're very proficient in all their times tables. They could do all this stuff in the welding field. It's not just that they mastered a deck of times tables cards. They could do all the stuff that is required in the field math-wise for welding and structural steel. So I just want to stress that. Just keep working on it. It really does come in handy. It may seem like a very small part, but it's actually very big. See you on the next vlog.